What's up, guys? Miss here, back here with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes commentary video. And today is the day, my friends, we are unlocking a 7-star Yoda. The event's been going on for about a day and a half now, as of the making of this video. Obviously, the very first attempt I made was about 1 hour after the event unlocked. And my characters were all 74. My Luminar was 74, my Barriss was 74, my Ahsoka Tano was 74. Qui-Gon was 76, but Eth Koth was only level 70. I noticed when I started the event, as soon as I got in, Yoda was a level 90 boss and gold. Needless to say, I made some very juvenile, very rookie mistakes when I first started out. He got offense up off of me and proceeded to destroy me. Oh, it was embarrassing. I mean, he just landed almost a 14,000 damage non-crit hit on me. And this hit right there, 11,000 crit without offense up. If Yoda had had offense up at that time, that would have been terrible. And then, again, another 11,000 crit. So, needless to say, I was pretty discouraged. I was very discouraged. So, my only other thought process here was, well, the evasion didn't really help, obviously, and the healing didn't help much, so let's try and give my guys speed buffs. So maybe I'll get more turns in, maybe be able to get the heals off. I kept making those rookie mistakes, using abilities that have effects tied to them, and when Yoda resists effects, I have 15.8k crit there with offense up that he got off of me. When you hit Yoda with a move or an ability that has an effect that he can resist, you're just giving him turn meter. You're screwing yourself, essentially. So those first two attempts obviously were just terrible, absolutely terrible. Essentially, after those first two attempts, I decided to call it quits, came back that evening, and decided that I was going to give it another shot after leveling up my Jedi quite a bit. I leveled Barriss, Ahsoka, and Luminara all up to 76. Now I had 4 level 76 Jedi, and I leveled Eth Koth up to about level 74. That was all I really wanted to level him up to because I don't use him that much. So I was able to get Luminara down this time, but unfortunately that really didn't help much at all because this Yoda is merciless. I just kept getting my butt handed to me. I was really getting discouraged. Now, it was about this time that I was also communicating with my guilds outside of the game in another app that we use to communicate, and some of my guildmates had already beat this 7-star Yoda. So, of course, the first thing I do is ask them how they did it, what level their Jedi were, and what their strategy was. Of course, most of them had Jedi that were about the same level as I had taken mine up to, and their strategies were very similar to the one that I had. Someone had actually shared a link to an article that was about 2 months old, so it was a little outdated, pre-level 80 cap, but it basically outlined a good strategy for beating the stage 7 of the Yoda challenge. Now, the strategy is essentially to avoid using Jedi that have built-in effects with their basic attacks. So Jedi like Jedi Knight Anakin, terrible for the Yoda event because his basic attack has a built-in healing immunity and buff immunity effect. Now, that's a percent chance of happening, but that's a percent chance of guaranteeing that you're going to give Yoda turn meter, because Yoda at the stage 7 event, it's impossible to cause any effects. So I obviously got pretty discouraged about the fact that I kept getting defeated, so my solution was, well, maybe I don't have enough heals, so I'm gonna go ahead and start working on my Jedi Knight Consular. Basically, a lot of the people in my guild who had been able to beat this stage 7 of the Yoda event were all using Jedi Consular, and none of them were using Eth Koth. So I figured that Eth Koth, since he doesn't really hit that hard anyway, he was probably my weakest link, and I was better off going out and just starting to crank through and get my Jedi Knight Consular out and done before the end of this event. Well, much to my surprise, I got a client must be restarted notice. Much to my surprise and much to my pleasure, they nerfed the Yoda event. They dropped the level of all the characters, or all the stage 7 opponents, to level 80 from level 90. So I didn't get a great pull on the 2 Jedi that I had to face. I got Qui-Gon Jinn and Luminara, arguably 2 of the hardest ones to get. But I was happy just to know that I was going to be facing level 80s instead of level 90s. So my strategy was pretty simple. I needed to take down Qui-Gon Jinn because I didn't want him taking away an automatic buff like Luminara's evasion buff and giving Yoda and Luminara offense up. That was the worst case scenario. So I did my best to burn down Qui-Gon Jinn, which happened fairly quickly. But in the process, Qui-Gon Jinn got focus fired and went down pretty hard. So I was a little discouraged, wasn't sure if I was going to be able to take down Yoda, but I worked through Luminara fairly quickly. I was able to get heals off at just the right time. Unfortunately, he kept getting foresight just as Ahsoka Tano's turn would come up, so she wasn't able to get the maximum heal from her base ability. But you could see that a few of my characters got down pretty stinking low. Eoth Koth eventually fell. He kept stealing my heal, but I got to land the final blow in style. I can't really say whether having Ahsoka Tano in lead, if her evasion really factored in, but I was just happy to have finally gotten my 100 Yoda shards. Now, I'm doing a little happy dance right here, not even paying attention. Don't realize that I got this little speech bubble that I gotta clear, so it sits there for about 10 seconds or so, and it takes me straight to my achievements. Collect my Vader shards, my 500,000 credits, hell yeah, and go ahead and head on over to Yoda, because you know I gotta show you guys actually promoting him. So there he is, level 73, 7 stars, looks pretty good. That's a lot of time and effort put into that, so pretty happy to be done with that. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to kind of make sure I broadcast this. So, as always, like, favorite, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.